Good morning, y'all. It's Timidity. People make it so annoying to try to make new friends because they can be so fucking weird. Weird as hell. Like, I just had to tell off another friend for the millionth time, whatever. Anyway, let's just say if you see me get online and I ask something like, hey, are there any showcases, mics, events tonight that anyone knows about that I can go to? I feel like getting out the house and supporting an event. And then you know damn well that there is an event within a 2 block radius of me that I would love to support and attend. And you not only don't tell me, but you go to the event, like you have to physically walk past my place to go to the event. And then when the event's over, you post about how fun it was and how amazing it was. And then I could tell they were on some weird shit because I DM'd them. I was like, "Oh, hey, that sounds actually pretty. I wish I knew sooner. That sounded great. Oh, I wanted to get out the house. How'd it go? Was the event like good? How was the turnout?" And then they were just brief as fuck. They were like, "Fun. It was nice. Come through sometime." And then I kind of like thought to myself, they definitely don't seem like super warm or cheery or whatever, but okay. And then I was like, oh, how about, can I ask how often this event happens? Like, how often, or like the days? Because I keep hearing about this event, but I never know like when it happens consistently. And then you want to know what the so-called friend said to me? They said, monthly, with the period at the end, and then no further elaboration or response. So I replied to them. I said, that's so funny because if you asked me when and how often an event went down, I would say something like, oh yeah, the second Thursday of every month and the show starts at 8 p.m. You should check it out sometime. I would not just respond monthly. And then I said something else really, really mean. And now they're on restricted mode because I'm not reading their fucking messages and I don't care how they feel. But yeah, sometimes people put, like, especially when it's male friends, they actually get on my fucking nerves so goddamn bad. This other, like, excluding the ones in my comment section, bless your hearts. But I do remember this one specific fella. Like, okay, so this one guy, we were friends and shit, and we had a great time hanging out. But you know what they did that really pissed me off? They were the type of person where they would just keep endlessly, endlessly, endlessly complaining about, like, how their dating life is going poor, or like how they went home alone, or how they went to an event and hardly talked to anybody. And it's like, my brother in Christ, you get a free +1 to events. You know I like to go to events, and then you went out of your way to not tell me. Then you went to an event alone, didn't talk to anybody despite knowing tons of people there, and then you went home and got sad about it. And then they're just very self-centered. Like, I'm not saying people can't be sad or depressed or think about themselves, like, we're all human, but it was like, just like, how do I put this? They were selfish in almost every single way, and then here I was, like, when can they like reciprocate or like show care about me? Because I've been going through a lot too, but they haven't been asking me about that. But what especially annoys me is last night. So I don't know, like, I talked about how a few days ago I went out to this event, funny enough, the same event we both mutually go to, and it was a big deal. I got on stage on a huge crowd and started trying to freestyle rap and made a bunch of friends and even got in the like final cut photo at the very end. It was so fucking cool. Made a bunch of friends, socialized, and now I get free entry to that event anytime I want, and all these allies and stuff, and it was a blast. And I hit up Jackson, so I didn't mean to say their name, but fuck it, we ball, I guess. I contacted them. I was like, hey, guess what I did tonight? And then I sent like the video, and then they were like, oh, you recorded video of Ruckus? That's nice footage. Like, they just assumed that the video, like, was just me recording on my phone the event. And I said, no, did you read the caption? I got on stage and freestyled. I'm even in the video. I'm in the pink scarf. Did you see it? It was so exciting. And then they didn't reply to that at all. They saw the message and didn't reply. But then guess what they did? Like, later on today, this morning, like, still didn't have anything good or bad to say about it. They just ignored it entirely and then said, oh, hey, I'm feeling like body pain today and it's pretty bad. Can you just send me an audio of like nice words? And that kind of gets on my nerves because I already kind of have, like, they're just a very whiny person and very self fulfilling prophecy and very much also horny. And that shit gets on my fucking nerves for a lot of reasons. There's a lot of stories I can bring up, but I'm keeping it cute and keeping it short and sweet. Because it's like, where were my sweet words when I was asking for them? That's kind of fucked up. I'm just saying. Oh, yeah, there was another moment where I straight up, like, they were like, we should watch a movie sometime. Like, and they talked about watching movies at their place before, and I was down with it. But then they were like, oh, yeah, like, so what's your address so we can go to yours? And I said, oh, hey, actually, no, my address is off limits. And they were like, why? And I said, oh, because, like, my housemate actually, and I just made it clear. I was like, hey, my housemate is trying to threaten me with an eviction, number one. And number two, they don't like having guests over. Plus, it's not like wheelchair accessible. And then and Jackson didn't bother to actually think about, like, he just kind of jumped straight into, oh, I see. Well, I just wanted to avoid going to a movie theater because I didn't want to, like, pay for movie theater ticket prices, and then we didn't have to sneak in food. And that's all they said about the situation. Like, no empathy, no anything, just like, oh, okay. Hmm. Just moved on from it. I made this friend recently. His name is Sean. We quickly stopped being friends in, like, oh my god, like, 1 second we're at karaoke, having a blast, getting tipsy, enjoying ourselves. Like, it was awesome. And then the very next day, he was like, "Oh yeah, I'll hang out again." And he did everything in his power to make things as awkward and tense as possible. I'll put it this way: if you a smart person would go, I'm with Tamia. She gets sick easily. It's a monsoon level rainstorm outside, and she does not want to get wet, and she wants to be like safe and happy and shit. And she wants the ride to get called to the karaoke bar like very quickly. And I don't want to talk about it or else I'm going to start screaming and or say something very mean to Sean over text messages. Let's just say I have never met someone more brain dead in my life. Next thing you know, we're standing in like fucking monsoon level rain under no partition for like a whole fucking hour when he knows I was wearing a pea coat and he knows how moldy it can get easily and how it basically doesn't reflect or repel any water and it just absorbs right through it and goes into my clothes. And how he knew I didn't want to get my hair fucked up. And like, bruh, like, he fuck and like it was just dumb shit. I'll put it this way. It was very simple. You open your phone to call and you call a ride. And if you claim that your Uber app has issues with the pin location and that it never drops the pin at the correct location, then what you do is you either stop fucking using the track my location or pin and you type in a manual address, or you let the person you're with know in advance, hey, we're gonna have to walk like a few blocks to the like, or at least like a little bit to this destination, so that then we can meet our driver in this weather. Hope that's okay with you. And then of course you let them know that, and you don't just like walk directly into fucking monsoon level rain. And let's just say Sean did the opposite of all of this for an hour straight. Like, Sean was, I like this. Let's just say if I had to use words to describe Sean, it would get very ableist very fast, and I'm trying not to say certain things, but people, it's like they want me to say certain things. But I will stick to ignoramus. I will stick to troglodyte. I will like, oh, but it's like some of these people just go around on this planet as if they had like fucking 3 lobotomies given to them, and they're just like trying to get the fourth one pretty soon so that they get a free fucking donut on their stamp card. Like, just no sign of intelligent life anywhere. Like, if Sean tripped and fell, his skull would just shatter like a glass vase and there would be nothing inside of it. Nothing at all. Just pure, not even air. Like, it would just be nothingness. Just a total empty mass that will suck you in. It's terrible. Oh, and also, yeah, so imagine you're hanging out with a dude and he just like is like, all right, call divide, and then just like immediately takes off 20 feet ahead of you outside in monsoon level weather. And then he, like, as you're walking behind him, he keeps trying to walk 20 feet away. And then you're like, Sean! Wait, Sean! And of course, you're wearing really nice, expensive jewelry and cute clothes, and it's a rough fucking neighborhood. Like, extremely rough fucking neighborhood. But bitches piss me off. Yeah, cause it's like he just kept yeah, he walked 20 feet ahead of me in this shady ass neighborhood as I'm wearing like this very obvious expensive ass outfit and heels and a weak ass peacoat, and it's dark and we're in a rough part of town and there's shit and feces everywhere and also I could trip and fall any moment. Why are you walking out of earshot of your friend? And then also, like, when I did finally catch up to his stupid ass, he told me, "Oh yeah, the pin location. There's an issue with that, so we have to walk like several blocks." And then we had like he thought, "Oh, it's gonna be nice and easy. It's gonna be like just a few simple." Like, I like walking and I like the way. Well, cool. I told him right before we left the comedy spot we were at that I don't like walking because I'm in heels, and I don't like the rain because I get sick easily, and I'm wearing a pea coat that would not absorb the moisture. He's fucking stupid. So you know what Sean did not give a fuck. And then not only did we have to walk for several blocks, this idiot also didn't bother to check if he was going the right direction, so we actually walked 7 blocks. Or however fucking many, the exact wrong direction. And then he basically was like, "Oh no, we walked the wrong direction." And then he called up the driver and he was like, "Hi, where are you?" Nigga, you know where he is because you set the location. And then he was like, "Oh, okay. You're there? Oh, well, we're lost. Oh, okay. We'll be there soon." And he was just about to hang up, and I told Sean, I was like, "Wait, wait, wait! Why don't you call him and tell him to meet us at our exact location? You could just say like a building we're at, and he can drive to us." But Sean, he's fucking stupid, and also he's like a weird mix between the dumbest person alive, but he thinks he's the smartest person ever. So he hung up, and then just went, "Oh, that would have been smart." Anyway, and then just continues on walking in a fucking completely wrong direction, and and then I kept asking to stand under partitions or trying to. He would not fucking do it or listen. And like eventually the ride did cancel. And this idiot, a million, like, oh my god, it's like if he wasn't checking to see how soon the ride was closed or where anything, like, oh, let's just say eventually he was so brain dead that there was just like, he would say, "All right, I'm calling us a new ride." Check his Uber app and then proceed to like just randomly open up Google Maps and stare at it without doing anything. And I wouldn't notice until 7 minutes would pass by, and then I'd be like, "Hey Sean, how soon is the ride coming?" And Sean would look at me like, "Hmm," like no thoughts behind his eyes. I said, "Sean, check your phone. How soon is the ride calling? Because clearly you called it, right?" And he'd be like, "Oh yeah." And then he opened up his phone and he hadn't called the ride. And I'd said, "Okay, well, call the ride." And then let's just say I want you to guess how many times me and him had to have that exact interaction over the course of an hour. Like 16 fucking times. And then you know what he would do? Oh, I hate Sean. I got so close to sucking Sean dead in his shit. And oh, let's just say his dumbass. I also told him I don't like complaining. And I also said that so many fucking times. So he could even hear me say, "Sean, just call the ride. I don't want to hear this. Like, just how about you just type in the fucking pickup location of a building around us." But you know what Sean would do? He kept using the pin. He kept using the pin. The drop pin location, and it clearly wasn't fucking working the first time. Why would he try it again and then not type it in? Oh, he's an idiot. And then he would he wouldn't even get far because then he'd complain and then put his phone down, and then I'd have to remind him Sean called the ride, and then he'd pick up his phone and then start complaining. "Oh yeah, my phone's being really weird. Yeah, I don't know. There's something about the pin location." And I would have to. He did this thing where he would talk over me, and I would have to. I literally got to the point where I was damn near screaming, like fucking full on screeching banshee screaming, "Sean, call the ride! Complaining does nothing! We've been standing here for like 30 minutes! Call the ride! Call, there's no reason to complain. What does complaining do? You press 3 buttons on your phone and you call the fucking ride. What would complaining about the thing that you've already complained to me on your phone do when you know the resolution? Just call the fucking ride." And then guess what Sean's stupid fucking dumbass, Duck Dynasty looking, comb over hairstyle looking, just stupid, 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 flat ass self would do? Open up Uber. Yet again, try the pin location. And then, before he even thinks to type anything in, he would start being like, "Yeah, I don't know, my phone's being really weird. Uber's being Uber," and then oh, he almost got sucked. He doesn't know how close he got to getting fucked in the throat, dude. I mean, punched in the throat. Same difference. Sorry, I was I was about to do extentation level violence on that man, if not worse. Like Jesus Christ. Like, oh, he was terrible. I'm gonna spare you the rest of the details, but anyway, let's just say he's a fucking dumbass. And even when he did find, like, I had to tell him, "Have you not been trying to use Lyft this entire time?" As I also kept, like, he just was like, "Oh yeah, that would have been a good idea," and he checks Lyft, and then he calls a Lyft ride, fuck it, just soup. And then I guess Lyft also for some reason is doing the pin drop issue, but this time at least with like whatever. He yet again doesn't tell me we're gonna have to walk several blocks in whatever fucking direction, and I have to tell him, hey, how about just instead of clicking the most random direction or the most random pin drop to go to, how about you choose the closest one and then you look it up in advance before you call it, so that then we know where we are gonna be walking this time and it's the right direction and how far it's gonna be, and we don't accidentally walk 7 blocks the wrong direction and then have to walk fucking 14 blocks the right direction just to get the Uber canceled. Just yeah. He finally fucking listened. And then guess what? Just chilling in an awful fucking neighborhood as this dumbass keeps trying to talk to me. And then at best, he was like, "Yeah, I'll take like half the blame for this, you know, because the Uber app was being so weird." He want. I had a switchblade in my pocket. I don't like when niggas make me feel like I gotta use it. I swear to God. Anyway, this bitch ass nigga. So like I literally had to be like the I show speed meme, where it was just like I was frowning but giving him the silent treatment. Then I was smiling, giving him the silent treatment because I kept thinking to myself, "Don't kill him." Silence feels like it like physical pain in the body because humans really feel pain when they get rejection. Let me just do that because he deserves it. Just because words aren't good on this type of man because he's fucking stupid and he has an ego, too much ego, not enough accountability skills, and he's just a shit tier human being. So let me just be quiet. And I was quiet the entire way there. At most, I got out the car and said, "See ya," and then left. And then, weirdly enough, like I guess he got out. Like he doesn't even live in the same city, but I guess he just quietly got out at the same fucking location. I don't know. He's brain dead. Oh, he's brain dead. He disgusts me so much. You don't know how, like, if I ever see this man again, I will probably projectile vomit from how gross he is. And yeah, the only reason I didn't curse him out is because he had certain videos and photos of me on his phone that I really wanted. And I've learned my lesson that if men get mad at you or their ego bruised or whatever, even when you're trying to communicate or not trying to make them angry and even talk to them sweetly and supportively, these niggas will still throw a fuck, like they'll still throw a tantrum, even when they know they did wrong. And then they'll just withhold like cool ass videos and photos of you that they know you would love because they're fucking stupid. Like that guy who took me to Lake Tahoe and also fucked shit up within 24 hours. Like, yeah, I told him nicely that it's like, yeah, I'd rather go on like another date or two first before I give you my social media. But anything you want to know about me, I will naturally tell you. And then he decided the appropriate thing to do was like get his hacker friends to stalk me online and find my social media, and then he went out of his way to get mad at me for what was on my social media when it was nothing bad about him. He's fucking stupid. Or like that one guy I had a date with who decided it was appropriate to whip his dick out in public, and despite how and like kept trying to like, let's just say he kept trying to do certain things in public with me, and he was not trying to take no for an answer multiple times. He thought he could just keep trying to kiss me or make out, and that I would. And it like he got so mad when I simply just after multiple times of I want to go home. Hey, you gotta let me go. Hey, I'm trying to go home. All right, I'm done here. All right, I had a nice time today. Thank you. I just finally had to like deepen my voice a bit and be like, okay, back up, buddy. And then like that was the exact cadence and tone I used. Like, okay, back up, buddy. And he did. And I said, thank you. And we started like walking me to his car, but he was so hostile. This one dude, he was like, "Oh, I don't know why you're just so mad at me. Oh, what? Like blah blah blah," and then getting hella accusatory. And I was just like, "Oh, well, I said no several times, and I was just trying to go," but he kept trying to flip shit as if I was calling him a rapist. And then later on, when I did get home, and I kind of was like, you know what? That was a weird thing for him to do, and a weird way for him to act. And you know what? That actually was kind of rapey. And all I did was like show 0.2% like not the most happiness. And he flipped his lid. Like, wow. Anyway, but that's just me. And let's just say those were both instances of me having cute videos and photos with guys and them never sending it my way because they're fucking cunts. And cunts don't like to be called cunts for some fucking reason, but whatever. Don't try to be one then. Or actually think, huh, are my actions aligning with that of a cunt? Yeah, you had an extremely vulnerable to sickness, fucking iron deficient, scrawny ass girl in a, like, with nicely done braids and a fucking pea coat that would not absorb any moisture and heels, and you left her fucking 20, 30 feet behind at some point with fucking shit and crazy motherfuckers in this dark, shady neighborhood, all because you were so goddamn R-worded that you could not fucking call an Uber correctly or at all. He just didn't feel the need. Oh, this nigga kept complaining, and then like as soon as he'd get done complaining about his phone having an issue, he'd put his phone down, and then just for 7 minutes just stare into space or try to talk about some other shit and do. And then he was so. I want to walk his shit. I'm just saying he better not see me in public again. I'm just like, I don't even think I'll have the patience. I think I will just straight up be like, oh, after what you did, I never want to fucking talk to you again. Or who knows? If I still see him around, maybe I'll use him for free drinks and stuff. But that's about it. Like, that's about it. Because he put himself in the position to be seen as an unsafe and undesirable friend. And I hate that shit. But yeah, friendships can be annoying. Those are the male friendships. I didn't even get to female friendships, but I remember over the pandemic, I had this girl who was like, we were like best fucking friends. It was nice. She was black, autistic, super chill with each other. She was super chill. But guess what? It took months before she finally told me that she thinks all sex workers are just more or less whores, which is wild because she knew I was a sex worker. And like she always was asking me questions about it and trying to get to know me and this and that. And it's like, oh, you think we're more or less whores who don't deserve rights, and you wouldn't feel bad if we died. Weird that you tried to be my best friend, and then it's even weirder because like she went from like she was a dumbass bitch. Do you know the hypocrisy you got to be going through? Where you're like, ooh, sex workers are more or less whores, but then you're also like, huh, my ex cheated on me and is moving on to a new girl. I'm gonna like pay him money and buy him food and gifts in the hopes that he will eventually leave that bitch and fuck me right, or at least like fuck me good behind that ugly bitch's back. But then the whole time she was whining and dining that ugly ass nigga who was short and busted and not cute at all. Nothing's wrong with being short, but she hated that he was short. So it's like, bitch, he's short and balding. You don't like either of those things. What? And you're trying to win him over? Like me and her bonded in the first place because we wanted high standards for ourselves and to like have nice lives of luxury and success in dating. And it's like even the ain't shit nigga I got who was kind of evil. At least he was a baller. She got some gremlin. Like, and I'm talking like stage two, like feed them after midnight type gremlin, like fucking nasty motherfucker, greasy and nasty. And also, yeah, all that whining and dining him didn't work. He would just smugly eat all the food and then fucking dip. No dick given to her whatsoever. Fucking dummy. And yeah, she was becoming a much worse person in a million ways. And I just thought to myself, wow, it's so crazy how you went from this like so called feminist but wanting better for yourself in terms of dating type girl to like you went for the most low hanging fruit ever, who I told you in advance was possibly a danger to women and narcissistic and unsafe and gross. And then you let him fuck on the first date after you sat in a park for a while and watched a tiny bit of anime and you lost your V card to him. Just like you walked yourself into hell and now you're complaining that you're on fire. What the fuck? And then this other girl, I won't say her name, I still have love and respect for her to an extent, but I gotta say, male centered women piss me off. Like at first we always end up cool, but then they start pissing you off. Because with this one fucking girl, I tell you, let's just say Dumbass bitch is all I gotta say. Cause it's like, why are you with a nigga who gave you an STD like fucking 8, 9 times? And then she was like, she would tell me shit like, oh, well, if I tell him, like, cause they weren't even boyfriend or girlfriend. She was just casually seeing him as he fucked the whole world, like so called casually, and he was just doing basic manipulation bullshit, whatever. Yeah, I won't shit on her too hard for falling for certain manipulations, but other things, it's like, damn, girl, have some respect for yourself. Because then she would tell me something like, oh, yeah, he's probably going to fuck this one girl he knows. But, and, I want to do anal with him, but, like, and he wants to do anal with me, but I told him, if you're going to do anal with her, don't do it with me in the same week, because that's nasty. And I just feel like that would be gross? And he'll respect that. And I was like, are you sure he would? And then she stared at me and she's like, and why wouldn't he? And then I gave her a certain look, and then she gave me a certain look. The look I gave her was kind of like, and then the look she gave me was like, but because she knew damn well I could say, your man gave you a million STDs while saying that you were the love of his life. I think you can expect that he's most likely gonna fuck two bitches in the ass, if not 16 bitches in the ass in the same week. Like, really, he has dirty dick. And then, yeah. Anyway, and the reason our friendship ended was there was a lot of reasons. Like, I don't know. And she also kept trying to convince me to be a stripper, and it's like, I hate to break it to you, girl. I'm cute. And, like, also, yeah, we had different levels of self esteem, and she did repeated dumb shit. But to be nice about it and to keep this video not too long, let's just say we had different levels of self esteem. So it's like, yeah, girl, I hate to break it to you. I'm the type of girl where I can show up to a date with my clothes on and not need to take them off, and I get $500. You could do that too, but it's like, and I'm not gonna say anything too mean because she's really lovely. I'll just say she can enjoy stripping, I can enjoy my niche, and we can meet in the middle and have fun where we are and bond. But there's no way you're gonna convince my easily sick germaphobe ass to like, nah, like just no, no, just no. Thank you. But she kept trying to convince me. It was weird, gross, actually. Like, she just could not take no for an answer. She wasn't the smartest girl. But whatever. We already knew that, though, because she was still trying to see the dude who gave her a million STDs. But she was a very sweet girl, and she could still be, like, very emotionally intelligent just with everyone else. I hope she still extends that same kindness to herself. Let's just say things ended because she found out her man was, like, leading on basically a high schooler. So imagine you have a man and then you find out that he's been talking to this girl who's like barely 18 and picking her up from high school and saying that he's going to marry her and this, and that, and saying all the bullshit lies and rumors he said to you. I have high reason to believe, we both do, that she was not 18 when they first met. Let's just say I can at least acknowledge that I was not the best friend because at this point, things with me and my own toxic man at the time were going like fairy tale level of amazing, with like small moments of hell, but then like mostly fairy tale amazing. I gotta admit, abusive relationships are complex. But oh wait, I remember. At some point, to get her lick back on me, I guess, because she didn't like me trying to help her out and like warn her about like, like bitches don't like to be told that their man ain't shit when their man ain't shit. But I guess she got mad because like her man started being shitty as my man started being good at the time. And then seeing me get roses and jewelry and taken out to nice fancy Italian dinners and getting praised and cherished, and with like Morgan being like, oh hey, like Morgan literally got like 2 jobs because he wanted to make a shit ton of money so he could see me more often and treat me to more things and do more fun shit with me. And she was being a hater. She was like, oh, well, he's only doing that because he can't find anyone else to fuck, right? Otherwise he wouldn't be doing that. Like, he doesn't really even like you. He just wants to fuck you, and he's only doing this because he wants pussy. And it's like, she said that so unprovoked. Anyway, never mind, fuck this bitch. She needs her ass beat. Anyway, let's just say the friendship ended because after some time, this stupid ass bitch decide, like, she just messaged me out of nowhere after crying and hemming and hawing because this nigga Lily, they tried to be cool and girl boss. They both called this nigga up on the phone at the same time, the teenage girl and my ex homegirl. They called this nigga up on video call, and then this nigga just straight up started laughing his ass off and was like, "It's not my fault. You two are fucking stupid and fell for it." And he started dragging her, and he was like, "You know, Pop, like, I'm gonna say her name's Poppy out of respect and keep her identity also, like, hidden." But he was like, "You know, Poppy, I wouldn't have been able to get away with this if you had high self-esteem or intelligence, but you don't think for yourself. You don't love yourself. So that's why I was able to do that. It's not my fault you were stupid. It's not my fault you made yourself so easy to access. It's not my fault that you are dumb. So, simply put, good day, girls. And this was funny as hell. Now I'm gonna go fuck my third bitch. See ya." And, like, yeah, and she felt horrible and stuff, and it was awful. I was there for her, though, even though I didn't like her at the time, but I still thought, she's going through it, and I know how hard it can be. I wasn't there as much as I could have been, but that's just because it's like, I was broke as shit. And also, like, we didn't have the same taste in activities. She likes drinking and nightclubs. I like comedy shows and restaurants and walks on the park and beachside dancing and stuff. And she likes alcohol and strip clubs. It's like, yeah, well, I also like alcohol and strip clubs, but not too much alcohol. And let's just say I like different taste in strip clubs than she does, is all I need to say. Now, mind you, me and her eventually, like, sorry, I just thought about strip clubs for a second and I remembered this one girl. Oh, she was perfect. Anyway, let me focus on topic. Anyway, let's just say she got fucking mad at me and, like, or no, I got mad at her. Sorry. My ex homegirl and me ended things because, like, let's just say she hit me up after like a week or two after, she was trying to move on from her shitty ass man, or who was not even her man. Like, damn, girl, you didn't even get the title of girlfriend and you thought that he was gonna marry you? And 8 years? Come on. Well, whatever. Whatever. I will just say this. She hit me up like, "Ooh, girl, I just got fucked really good. I got double penetrated for the first time. It was amazing." And I was like, "Oh, ooh, hell yeah. I'm so happy to hear you're having fun and moving on after we're on. Who's this new guy?" And then she was like, "Psh, girl, don't act like you don't already know." I had to be like, "Please don't tell me it's Juan." She was like, "Of course it is. Who else would it be?" And I was like, "So you went back to him after knowing about, like, his ephebophile bullshit? Him fucking a high schooler and degrading you and degrading her? Just, you really? And you had to send paragraphs to, like, that girl and other girls about his, like, terrible behavior, and you're still with him? Please." And I begged her to leave him, but she refused. And after a while, I just thought to myself, okay, you can't help certain dumb people. You just leave them where they're at, and they can figure out for themselves how to fucking untangle themselves. I tried to give grace, though, but in that circumstance, it's like, you know. But I'm not too much for hypocrite because I know how I was like when I was when I was like, 15 and dealing with an abusive guy myself. And it was hard to leave that relationship because when it was really good, it did feel like it could just be like, oh, we are getting over the hurdles of the past and things are on the straight and narrow and everything's perfect. And it felt like that. A shame that it couldn't be that. Anyway, thank you. And also, there was this one girl, actually, that, like, she actually went out of her way to try to befriend me. Like, she saw me in person, she was like, "Oh my god, I love your content, you're so funny, you're so smart, I love your rants, I love hearing you talk, you're just so amazing, blah blah blah." But then the second I actually was trying to DM her for events to go to with her and stuff, or like trying to ask to meet up, or even just sending memes or like little texts, next thing you know, I'm left on red. And the reason me and that friendship, or whatever the fuck you call it, ended is because I was tired of, like, the inconsistency of, like, okay, is she actually interested in being homies? Or was she just being nice, but then occasionally pops up out of the blue to be warm as fuck and then go back to, like, acting like I don't fucking exist? Because that's not very cool. That's not very cool. Bitches piss me off so hard. And let's just say I'm so tired of meeting people and then being shown that maybe they aren't as chill or cool as I would like them to be. Always. Like, I remember things with that specific girl ended because it was, like, my birthday. And she was the type of weirdo where it's like, you see me talking on my story, you see me writing things on my story, you see me having a rough time, in advance, and how like you're on my close friends list and you're seeing me talk about how my birthday is like a rough time and how I hate when people don't tell me happy birthday, because to me it reads the same as saying that you don't think I deserve to live another day, or that the milestone doesn't matter and my existence doesn't matter, and I've been through a hard enough time. And this bitch, this fucking bitch. Anyway, let's just say, imagine a bitch sees all those story slides and she watches those, reads those, and then she hearts like every single other thing excluding those, and then replies to every other meme and every other thing except for those. And then I just decided, you know what, I decided I'm gonna do this. I went on my story, I said I fucking hate the type of dumbass bitch that will get on my fucking story and act and just like read every, they'll like look at all the topics where I'm actually feeling emotional or talking about how I love when people say happy birthday, but then they're gonna be a fucking cunt by choice, and then go out of their way to not tell me happy birthday, but they'll like slide up on a stupid ass cat meme and say, oh my god, so cute, lol, amazing. It's like, bitch, what about, huh? Because then you can't say you're a friend to me. And then she saw that, she slid up, she was like, I'm the cunt, happy birthday, and then ignored any messages sent after that. Like, just, I don't know. I don't like when people put me in situations where I gotta pop off on them. Or where like I think, oh yes, cool, a new homie, a new friend, a new ally. This is great. I needed this, and then I get severely disappointed because it's like I'm trying to socialize myself into like, ooh, I can totally have reliable friends or like cool people who I'm with, but then they choose to do weird shit. Like, why are you trying to be my friend if you secretly are envious of me? Or why are you trying to be my friend if you like secretly undervalue me or like don't give a fuck about anyone else past you? Some people, they just want to be like, hey, here's a cute girl, and I want her to praise me and give me attention and make me feel special, and I will not reciprocate that effort, and that annoys me, or just so fucking annoying. I mean, yeah, with friends like these, who really needs enemies? Anyway, but shout out to the ones who've grown. I will say this: a buddy of mine, Seamus, he used to not be the best guy, but he's been in therapy. He's been in, like, two therapists. He's been in AA, and he's been trying, and he's finally realizing his past mistakes that he's made over like a solid like year and a half of being my so-called friend. And he actually, a few days ago, I was really going through it right after my hangout with Sean. I remember I was like so mentally distressed. Like, you ever have that feeling where you're like at your door and then you like drop your keys and then you realize how bad your day was and it all hits you like a truck? That was how it was. Anyway, so then I walked around and then I eventually stumbled at Seamus at his job. And he got me a drink for free, and then he let me vent my heart out as long as I wanted to. And I had a great time doing so. I said a lot of scary shit, terrifying shit, but he listened and he cheered me up. And then let's just say I went home with a smile on my face. Amen. I'm grateful for that. And then he even messaged me the next morning, first thing in the morning, like, hey, how are you doing? Hope you're doing all right. Hope you know you're loved and all that stuff. And he's been checking in on me lately. And I really like making sure he asks, how are you doing, by the way? How's it going in your life? He's making an effort to try. And I appreciate that. Those are the people I value. And, like, see, that's what a real friend does. They hear your needs, wants, and requirements, or they help you out during hard times, no matter if it's, like, even if things are a little rough between you, and they're there for you. And they grow, and they support you, and they love you. That's what I really love. Anyway, that's enough for this topic. Bye, y'all. Peace out.